less the matter of light and dark, but more the matter of you. Are you light or are you dark? Now, what's interesting is that very argument that I've just given can be used. I'll go back to the topics I was going to talk about. Remember, the spirochete type infections cause people to talk in slightly tangential fashion sometimes. What I just said can be used by the very teachers who tried to kill me. MaNityaSudevi, who's in Vancouver, with the video, who is that person? You might be wondering, who is that person? Because you don't tend to look at her name very much. I did, because I liked watching her so much, and then she tries to kill me! Ah! What the hell? But it's the person who made the video, "It's time to come out of the Arcturian starseed closet," the Indian girl in Canada. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. As if you're thinking, what? Are you serious? What? Oh my god, what? Yeah. I don't know if she was aware, of a dark influence when she made that video or not. I don't think it's my position to say that. But what I can say is that she sent me a crystal poppet to kill me, a stone. Yes, two different bracelets which were cursed with some sort of, it's got to be some sort of human material. The first thing I thought or saw when I looked at them, and also remember my mother, I didn't say this, my mother was in the room making me open them because I could barely move from carbon monoxide poisoning, and I was being forced to open them in front of her in a way, and so I was slowly opening them. She had tied everything up in a very ritualistic, satanic fashion. I mean, it was sick. But the idea here is not to condemn people. The idea is to call someone out because the light wants her back. I can say it that way. The light wants her back. So I believe what happened to her is she was spoken to by our Arcturian family, because we're both Arcturian, very solidly Arcturian. And after that, she was targeted, I believe, and ended up succumbing to it. Now, I did succumb to it several times in the middle of almost being possessed. They attempt to tempt you sexually, or with all kinds of different things, whatever temptation, like the screw tape letters, like C.S. Lewis, whatever temptation they can come up with to get you to go for, even if it's that you're starving and the only food that you have to eat has been poisoned with seeded, with some sort of bizarre, they look like little seeds. They look like chia seeds almost. That are brown. They look like little seeds that are on the food, and when you eat them, it starts, your back starts to grow up like these, like arches. You start to have a strong instinct to clean everything, reptilian instincts. You start to feel like I did that a few times when held captive because of what was going on, and the people there at first, they thought that I was going to complete the transformation when I got in. So they would say, to other people, "Oh no, don't just stay calm, guys. It's okay." And they would try. And actually, the counselors would be harming me, but at the same time, they would be saying, "It's just part of the process. It's okay." Doing that. But I fought back. So you see, the idea with me is that yes, you can completely fall for the temptation, and then say, "What? What?" And Sudevi is the one who pushes the ET 101 book a lot. Or not a lot, but that's where you guys find out about ET 101. Time to come out of the Arcturian starseed closet. That's how we all know about ET 101, basically. And that's how I found out about it. What does ET 101 say? Void all agreements that you have made with those in the dark forces and usher them into the light, and you get out of Dodge. They say you can do this. And so I had the programming downloaded, basically, or installed. It felt like it was installed, not like a download where you're just given information. This felt like something being installed, like a computer program being installed into my brain that would cause me to slap things, but the biological weird triggers, the poltergeist thing, knocking on stuff to signal things, all the reptilian instincts, and because of my mother being an obviously engineered, multidimensionally engineered hybrid, um, it made me easier to control in a way, but at the same time, it was funny. At the same time, Cryon would say, pushing forth his reptilian form, even though he's Blue Lyran starseed, inside the body of a reptilian, basically. One of the lower reptilians. He wasn't like one of the more royalty types. He was one of the like lower on the food chain, right, types. And that was a statement. That was like a statement to them to say, hey, you can be the bottom of the totem pole and rise to the top. You don't have to stay stuck in this caste system. It doesn't have to be that way like India. Um, and So he would put forth to me, Krista, okay, think of this genetic. You have some of these genes in here. They're doing this to you because you have some of these genes. So I want you to take them from your Akash. You've been a reptilian before. He told me that you've been a reptilian before and you don't remember it. You've been everywhere around this place trying to free it. You've been everywhere. You've been a reptilian. Try to remember as much as you can, because you can simply fight this off by taking hold of those reptilian genetics for yourself. And also he would tell me, Krista, you notice how they can consume that water that they've poisoned? They don't like to consume it, but they can. They can do it because their bodies filter it differently than yours does. But you have had those genetics in the past, and you even have some. You have your Rh negative, AB negative, which is apparently a pretty rare blood type. I didn't know that my mother was actually a real hybrid at that time. But I noticed, I thought to myself, wait, she's got the arched back and everything. She's got the, quote, scoliosis. Humans do not naturally have scoliosis. That's reptilian engineering, okay? So if you have scoliosis, don't feel like, oh my god, I'm evil, I must be reptilian. Think instead, yeah, okay, I've got some sort of reptilian engineering or a bloodline that's got reptilian blood in it somehow. But you know what I can do? I can take that blood and I can use it to my advantage. And so what he would tell me is, okay, with some of this food, when you try and eat this, or when you try to take a shower in the water that's totally polluted, they're able to do it because they are filtering everything out differently. Take hold of that and tell your body, we are going to filter these toxins out using the reptilian genetics that I have. And Kron was really insistent upon that. And it did work. It did actually work. I believe that was how I tolerated taking 30 milligrams of Zyprexa. When I got in there, they started forcing me to take Zyprexa. They would say, you either take Zyprexa, or we're going to hold you down and give you a shot of Haldol in your arm. And I am shot of Haldol. And let's just say a schizophrenic guy threw out his medication once, back when I was a junkie with a stupid boyfriend. This stupid boyfriend went digging through the dumpster and pulled out, oh, hey, look, a bag of pills. And I look at it and I see Cogentin, Haldol, amitriptyline, and I say, hey, I say to my boyfriend, hey, this was a schizophrenic person who threw out their medication. And he would say, oh, well, who cares? Let's take these meds back home. And so what do we do? We try taking the Haldol. It gives me intense lockjaw, where you can't move your jaw, and it feels like it's... And so I had to say, okay, take the Cogentin, fix that problem. And it did fix it. It took double a dose of Cogentin to fix it. But so I was thinking, oh god, that experience, that was fun. And I am Haldol and more of it. I don't think that's a good idea, Watson. So I said, okay, I'll do your Zyprexa, you assholes, basically. Because at that time, when you're an indigo having to bust out of stuff, you haven't transmuted your aura yet, which I'm in the process of doing. Your aura is transmutable. You're not stuck as an indigo. You're not stuck as a crystal child. You can transmute yourself into whatever you want. Because remember, it's all a hologram. We're all playing the video game, like sitting in front of a computer. And this is like the real life is like the computer, which is apparently how I can hack it. if I understand that the real life is the computer that I'm hacking. So, just to quickly mention, yeah, back then, I was very much in this indigo break your nose, like break your face mentality. In your face, scream at you, yell at you mentality. Because indigos do that because we're designed to do that. That's what it takes at first. It seems to take that at first to break down the system. But then if we keep running around like that, everybody hates us, and either everybody hates us or due to the law of attraction, we end up getting ourselves killed because of our amount of fight that we put forth. So the idea is, okay, what's Cryon saying to me now is, Krista, you already won the fight part. So now, after so imagine that you've won a war. Do you keep on running around mindlessly swinging a sword if you've won a war? No. You lay down your sword, and you may have, quote, prisoners of war, but do you treat them as some sickening evil captor? No. Would you not want to show them what you know so that they can become like you? And the idea is, yes, any human would really say, yeah, that's what I'd want. Now, okay, some humans would say, well, your child got murdered. Or say they killed my son. They attempted to assassinate me. They did all this stuff. If I hadn't have actually seen frequency work like the law of attraction, like the law of attraction and frequency work like gravity in South Africa, if I hadn't have seen that robber open the door and see me just sitting there peacefully looking at him saying, hello? Hello? Like, do you need some help? Do you need help? Like, I could feel it pulsing from my chest too, which is how I kind of know that that's how my stuff didn't get stolen. Black Hats. Yeah, Mr. Black Hat and Mr. Black Hat's daughter. The way my stuff did not get stolen was because of my frequency. And the other guy, your friend at the place where we went, he understood that too. I described it to him, and he said, yeah, that sounds like what it was. But now, since everything about frequency is coming out, there's no debating whether or not that was true. There's just explaining the natures of the frequency. What frequency was I emitting? What was he emitting? This is what we're going to be doing in science, eventually. We're going to be measuring all this stuff, and right now, people are just too afraid to let the information out because they're afraid of what will happen with too many humans knowing about this stuff. Uh-oh. We have to possess them. Well, actually, it looks like if we let the humans know, even the craziest humans that we can find, the craziest humans of them all, if we let them know about it, well, they turn around and say, here, let me make your life better. Here, let me help you overcome this. Here, let us change this into something better. That's why they want me as an example. That's why keep getting told, Krista, you're an example to the Gentiles, meaning to the races other than humans, Pleiadians, etc. All the higher advanced, the higher evolved advanced races, of which humans are one of ET races, compared to the lower regressive races, who believe that they're just doomed. Like Johnny Hampshire, what are you going to tell me? This video that it sent me. What are you going to tell me? I made the wrong decisions in life? Did this, did that? Our pain makes us who we are. I don't want my pain. I need my pain. They believe that they are basically just stuck and doomed in this stuff, and they're not. And I know that for a fact because of who? Because of Michael the Good Reptilian. I don't believe in saying that. I don't believe in saying good or evil. Because look at who you're talking to. You're talking to the old Nietzsche here. So beyond good and evil, jenseits von good and bösen. Ich glaube, I believe that was how it was said. So yeah, and also red-tailed hawk, but great-horned owl. Red-tailed hawk believes in truth and good and evil, but the great-horned owl does not, and says, no, I'm beyond these concepts. And they balance each other out so that the great horned owl doesn't go insane and, kill everybody in something and say, oh, it's not good or evil. At this point, it's not about, like I said, good or evil. It's about smart or stupid. We can be stupid and blow up the planet. Okay, we don't have to call that good or evil. We can call it smart, profitable, beneficial for the planet. Is it going to help the planet survive or not help the planet survive? Is it going to help you survive in the long run? Or is it going to not help you survive in the long run? If it's not going to help you survive in the long run, then we don't need to call that evil. We can simply call it stupid. So this isn't a good or evil thing. This is a smart versus stupid. So this guy, Michael, he'd gotten smart and realized, hey, the food is being poisoned. My food is being poisoned, which was true. So two people, the same place, independently of each other, understand that their food is being poisoned, then finally come together and he explains it to me, and I say, oh, you mean like this, and that processing this and that, and he just looked at me. This guy did not have a Chinese accent or anything, even though he was in a Chinese body, with the ridges of his back and the arched spine and everything, and did not call himself human. He did not identify as human at all, so I believe he was shapeshifted. But he said, you're the first person who's ever understood this. You're the first person I've ever talked to who's ever understood this. And I was shocked, thinking, you're seriously? Nobody else has actually said you're correct about this? No one else has said you're right? That, yeah, they are doing things to our food? Yeah. And he said, would they spend the money on us? See, remember, guy was Chinese, in a Chinese body. Would they spend the money on us to really actually give us anything like that, and the way that they think of the hierarchical structure. If you're in some sort of mental hospital where you're being experimented on against your will, and basically imprisoned there and expected to die in there, and they'll just make up some excuse for how you died in there or whatever, and you just disappear. It made a lot of sense where he said, would they spend the money? And I realized, okay, yeah, follow the money trail. Think of my mom, the penny pincher. I got it. I gotcha. I was shocked that no one else. I mean, what? Did he not run into another human? He was not human. But did he not run into a human who could understand it? I mean, the other reptilians, I wouldn't be surprised if either, well, first, they would not understand because they're inherently less intelligent than we are as humans. But two, most reptilians would say back to him, oh, you're crazy, because they would be too scared. Even if they understood that he was right, they would be too scared. And if they said you're right, they'd be giving themselves away and then get themselves screwed over. See, that would be the thing. So, with what I was talking about with the light and the dark, basically be careful out there with anyone who's, just because they say they're Ashtar Command, or just because they say they're this or that. And what's funny is that Sudevi actually has a video about this, about, quote, false teachers. Not believing certain things. But you see, when you're a dark worker, imitating a light worker, which is what she's doing right now. Well, actually, I have not watched anything recently because of the two teachers, the two females, Teal and Sudevi. I mean, it has to be said. Things are complicated with Teal, but the light wants Sudevi back, like saying, we can get her back, we can get her back, we can get her back. Say this, tell people to pray, and tell people don't go, like, saying stuff to her, that would just make the problem worse, but that me saying this happened, I'm not going to go get the crystals over again, but I did say it, once on one long video, that here, look at this, this was the, crystal poppet, and I had to redo it because it was programmed to kill me, so I had to take the thing apart and redo it like this. I show it when I was sitting on my bed, one video before I'd gained the level of physical strength that I'd begun to redevelop now, and shown the wire wrapping, because with the white stone, I believe I threw it out to say, be gone with you, and didn't have the sense to take a picture of it first. But there are so many things that I've taken pictures of that proof's already in the pudding. I'm the proof that this stuff is real. So, the light wants her back. And with what happened to me, you see, they go after you sexually a lot. And then you succumb to the sexual temptation, and then it's like a program is installed in your brain that is like a house of mirrors, I'd call it. It's like being boxed in upon yourself in a strange hexagram or diamond shape of mirrors up inside of yourself. But there was something about me that when they tried to install that program, they had gotten, I don't know, like 5 demons or something into you. What they'll do is you'll be pushed to have sex, and it's a very strong push. So all the people who fell for it, when I was immediately breaking out of it, I was so pissed that other people were not doing it. But now, I mean, I cannot be one to pass judgment because I see, oh, okay, I did do the same thing as the other people did, but there was something inside of me that said, wait, no, stop it. Let's stop all this. Let's void these agreements. But see, it's very hard to void the agreement because you're not really conscious of making an agreement. You end up having this astral sex with demons, literally. Literally, I'm just going to say it because that's what it is. That's what happens. So, if you end up encountering this, know again, there's a girl who went through this, and she came out the other side to say, no, and to say, I'm going to survive, and that I am one who stands in love and light. It must be love and light. You can't just say love, because love could have any definition. What is love? How do we define love in our philosophy? They define love in a very strange way that I can't even figure out yet. The way they define love, my old best friend, who had been a starseed, when I did not know what any of that stuff was, back before I didn't know any of this, or know any of what it was when I was only in my early 20s, she said to me, I managed to get a hold of her on the phone while I was being held captive there, and she said, well, I would prefer that you stay with us, and then she would make strange offensive comments under her breath and things like that. They'll do things like that because it's part of the program. Just don't take it personally is what I've discovered is, like the 4 agreements, don't take it personally, because forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. Forgive them, Father, they control not what they do. So it's like if you're going to get pissed off at a robot or pissed off at your computer, it's like getting mad at your computer because it's confused or has a virus. That's what this is like. So if it happens, say, to one of your friends or something along those lines, or someone that you knew who you thought was your friend, and then they try and murder you, you have to think to yourself, just like Jesus on the cross, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. They don't even know what they're saying. They can't even control what they're doing. But they've got an example standing in front of them to help them get out. And the way some of them will get out is enough pressure being put on them saying, look, you tried to assassinate the girl who stopped nuclear war. But the light, Sudevi, wants you back because you're a beautiful child of light. For the other person, Teal's a little bit too famous right now for much in that way. And I'm not the only person who has independently said there's possession going on. And can we remember the video, Teal Scott Creeps Me Out? The one girl who made that video? I saw that video and I reacted the same way as all of you guys did, which is, hey, no! I reacted the same way because all of us love Teal, right? But something happened after I activated. I swear to God. I don't know if it was just me or other people, but it was partly connected to me. I know, I swear. After I emailed them to say all this stuff, oh, I remember that I'm Arcturian, that all of this, da-da-da-da-da-da, it was like a week after, within 2 weeks, everything had changed. and something was different in her eyes. I don't know how to say it. And if you try to go back to find those older videos, it's a little difficult to find some of the old stuff, the really old stuff, where I would remember, the person that I was originally learning from. But now, it's all quite different. And the song comes to mind, and Ragamuffin saying, "Nah, keep silent, don't let me down, don't let me down." Damien, Junior Gong, Marley. Ragamuffin saying, "Nah, keep silent." He's saying, "Man, no, you're gonna put no 666 on my head? You must be mad. We'll run the old place right, and then from now and then, well, we're never gonna beg bread again. One of them has gone too far, and she started up the revolution and the war, yeah, and when one of them have gone too far, when them start up the revolution and the war, oh, you're gonna put a 666 on my head? You must be mad." That was a cover of, well, Midnight Ravers, but he named it 10,000 Chariots. You guys know Bob Marley. Midnight Ravers, 10,000 Chariots. That's the song. Because of the extent of, being taken into the satanic programming so early, and so I had the similar thing, but not nearly in that kind of intensity. Not in rituals, not being tied down to stuff, not being mutilated with knives and all kinds of horrific things. I don't recall being part and parcel to that. But, you see, when you are subjected to that, even if you have a powerful soul stream telling you, you are an Arcturian, you come from here, this is what you're doing here, you have these abilities for X reason, and X reason, and X reason, even if you've got that very powerfully pushed into you by your own soul stream, when people ask, "Oh, why didn't she run away?" Well, okay, I can explain this from a standpoint of my own life too. It's because you don't understand that you can run away. Okay, to put it in a very blunt, understandable format for people, the reason that people don't run away is because they literally do not understand that they can run away. And what they will do is say things like, basically, if you run away or if you were to leave, this is what's going to happen. Your parents are going to get murdered and we're going to flay them alive, like the Blue Foundation song. One more word and you won't survive. Also, great video that they made this video that they took down, Teal and some Russian people, about predicting the future, because, see, I had been kind of pissed off with them, her people. I won't really say more names that need to be said. I was pissed off kind of at her people because I knew that they knew about Agenda 21. I didn't have nearly the same, I don't have even close to the same level of ability that she does. I mean, not even a comparison there. But we still both knew, okay, this thing is coming. And she had already talked about, how people are going to have to, die because of the shift on the Earth. And I could see, oh my gosh, we'd both been suckered into the same mentality, which was that, that's going to happen. They're drawing it to themselves, and they, quote, deserve almost to die, or not. It's not, or it's not right or wrong. It's just, this is what's happening. But that's where you need a red-tailed hawk to shove its way in and say, no, truth exists. And if we don't even want to call it truth, with a great horned owl over here, we can call it beyond good and evil and call it smart versus stupid. So we want to be smart and preserve life and preserve abundance. If you're going along with a destructive plot, you're not preserving abundance. It's like, again, like hitting the wall. It doesn't work. It's two incompatible frequencies, which is why I ended up dominating, despite everything that they did. Everything everybody across the world was doing to try and make that stuff happen, to get that stuff through. I don't know what went on up in space, what exactly happened up there. I know something very strange happened up in space with probably people being shot down out of the sky or strange things. I do not know what exactly happened, but I do know that on August 21st when I walked outside, where the first assassination attempt really happened, where I almost had a heart attack, but the Ashtar Command managed to keep me alive with a soul stream there. After all of this, basically, no matter what all of those people were doing, that somehow just me and whoever other people that had the intent to hold the frequency of peace, hold it there, that we dominated because we were of light. And I didn't even understand that concept at the time, really. I didn't even know there was a light and a dark in this, like seriously, like Star Wars. I didn't know that at all. So with the people that attempted to assassinate me, with the one person up in Vancouver, the light really wants you back. I mean, the light keeps saying, you know, don't say it in every single video that you make, but every once in a while, bring it up again, and ask for that $90 back. Say, hello, I'm still alive, basically. But don't do it in a very bitchy way. Just, say calmly, hello, I, you know what you are doing, kind of in that sort of way. You know what you've done. Describe what occurred, and actually, I'm being told, just actually describe it, how the crystals were, and that you will accept nothing less than a full refund of what was done, because there is no other really alternative for even remotely apologizing for it. Especially because of how they've been trying to drain me out of money. With the money issue, that's very funny. The other day I said, I need to make money. And now I'm getting told, hey, Krista, you're now alive, and you are now physically strong enough to actually work out every single day to make yourself do it. You should ask for a refund, because you know how much money that was that you spent, and and everything you got was cursed, and you had to uncurse half of it that you could manage to uncurse. And you are actually so generous as to say, I don't want a refund for these beautiful pieces that I managed to fix, but I will ask for a refund for all of the pieces that were swapped out for strange poppets, and 2 that were definitely cursed with some sort of blood or human material, human blood somehow, that were designed to cause harm. It looks like I might have to throw the fluorite out. I've shown the fluorite bracelet, and I'm probably going to have to throw the thing out, because while I can get it to, I've got it better a little bit now, but there's something that I'm missing, so I'm not quite sure. I don't know how to confine the thing properly so that it does not affect me, because I'm becoming aware that, okay, having that thing over there, it's not good for your continuing evolution up here, so what you may need to do is just throw the thing out. You had good practice trying to deprogram it, and you did to a very strong degree. But either way, the idea is, no, you don't let a person just do that to you. You don't sit down and shut up and be quiet about it. You were born as an indigo child, meant to cause turmoil, not turmoil, Hampshire! Meant to cause Hampshire! Pandemonium! Pandemonium in a system of slavery. Anybody in a system of overt slavery who is fighting it is going to cause pandemonium at first. And then after the pandemonium, we're all supposed to get together and be friends, is the idea. But we have to make up for the, sickening, let's kill people pandemonium crap first. And regarding Teal, I personally don't. I personally don't think I should say very much. But part of an argument had ensued with her people because I was saying to them, look, you guys can see this coming, right? I mean, what I was saying was I would like to attend your workshop in LA, your synchronization workshop, but there's a problem, you see. It looks like New York is going to get attacked, and Bashar even says so too. And I can kind of sense this a little bit. I mean, could we ask Teal here just so I mean, I'm not exactly your normal viewer watching this here. Just for my own safety and everything. If there's something I ought to do to prepare, and that way I can better attend the workshop, because of the dates that you're talking about here. And I got a response back that was not from her, not from her. She doesn't really use the computer, it looks like, very much, but a kind of like blow you off type response. And I was immediately thinking to myself, no, this is not right at all. And you know what happened? In the middle of me intercepting everything, it was that same person. Anyone who watches Teal will know who this person is. He sends me an email suddenly saying, well, no, I'm a type whatever on the Enneagram, and let's be friends and all this stuff. And I didn't do to her, I remember some of her own stuff on this. My attention did not even go there. So I didn't even see that email until after everything was done, because my attention was so focused on the light that I did not even think to go and look at email. It was just, here, tractor beam, light, here, light, yes, light, keep the light going, keep it going. And we're going to keep it going on the planet. Good. And then I see afterwards, and I look at the dates and everything, and I see the time and the date, and I think, oh wow, you were just like the United Kingdom emailing me. Yeah, I got an email that said United Kingdom on it. I should probably look at that thing now just to see what the hell it said. Most of the emails that I began to receive a bunch of emails in the middle of the intercept, because, you see, they try and distract you. The idea is to distract you, because if you're distracted, you're not doing your spiritual work. You're not doing your inner spiritual work. So if you are distracted by different things, that stops you. So that's why something just instantly told me shut off the computer. Just don't even go near the thing. You are doing something else. You're not even doing that. You're doing something else other than that. But it was amusing. It was like, okay, dude, you've totally blown me off, and you know that I'm right. You totally blown me off, and you know that I'm right. This kind of reminds me of someone that says, bummer, man, dude. You totally blown me off, even though you know that I'm right. Oh, bummer, man. Oh, curse you, Krita. There's just no putting it gently. I don't alternate my flow. I dish you directly. Oh, anybody who actually has talked to these people in any format will know how funny that is now, or knows about that's it's funny. Okay, but it was like it switched suddenly from this sort of, oh, I'm politely blowing you off tone to, oh, desperately I'm talking to you, and desperately I'm trying to get you to desperately focus on me, and yeah, let's be friends, and yeah. And then afterwards, I just sent an email back after the whole thing, saying, oh, well, it looks like nothing happened. So I'll see you guys at the workshop in LA. But then, they tried to totally stop that, so I couldn't get to any workshop in LA. But now, why would I want to go to a synchronization workshop and even actually pay to go to it? That's the other thing. Actually paying? No. Actually like actually having to pay to go to someone's workshop who assisted in attempting to assassinate me. No. But you might be thinking, well, why would you want to go anyway? Why would you even want to go? The reason is because in my physical presence, people start to deprogram. And the programmers around her know that. And that's what makes the whole thing a sticky situation. But I would vouch to say that I don't think she was really doing that of her free will. With Sudevi, it really felt like she had gotten kind of on the side of doing that, like that she was happy to do it somehow. It felt like she was satisfied doing that, but it felt like that way a little bit at first with Teal, but then I think it was after everybody saw my fight, saw that, oh my god, that girl was not kidding when she said how she was the child. She wasn't kidding. She's got the most intense fight in her, oh my gosh. And then things started to look like kind of like a astral, I didn't exactly have total control over that. Not exactly the one. It wasn't exactly the one in the driver's seat. Sort of feeling like that came to me. So it's a shame. I kind of wish that I could still watch her, but I, can't watch any of the new stuff because she has strong ability that she'll, if focus is placed on me, she'll know if I'm going to watch something from her or not. So the best thing for me to do is not watch anything. Even though I wish I could. Or I'll, watch old things over again, maybe. It's sad. It is. Especially because the last one that she did was about how to see auras. And I did know the trick about using, this has got distextured, but using a white piece of paper, something like that, to try to get yourself to see them. I had just not been disciplined enough to actually do it. And when you're so distracted with everyone trying to kill you, that makes it a little hard, right? To try to sit there and focus on doing different things. But now, I can see I can see mantles now. The mantle of the aura, and it'll be, just a little bit, just a quarter inch, half inch. But I know that that ability will get much better. Our abilities are somewhat, different in different ways based on our different purposes on this planet. And mine, as powerful purpose, seems to be very literally, quote, holding down the fort, unquote. And in order to hold down a fort, you got to be inside of your body, holding the thing down, like literally holding the thing down, like the concept of the anchor. So at times I've complained the difficulty that I'll have going out of body, but then I'll get told, well, would you prefer to have those kinds of abilities, but then look at the teachers, look at what happened to them? Do you prefer how you, have yourself just anchored right there into your body where no one can yank you out? Or would you prefer to have extreme out-of-body skill and then have everybody coming after you, trying to yank you out because you come out so easily, and then you can't hold down the fort, and then the fort collapses because there's no one to hold down the fort? We need people to hold down the fort. Then we need people to be able to go out of body and watch the fort and do things like that. But we need somebody inside of the fort just holding the thing down, sitting on the ground like you do. And you do it very well. So why don't you be satisfied with that, of what you can do? And I thought, well, this was what my grandpa wanted. He said, "This is nuclear." I know I've repeated that a lot, but how he said it was, "You don't understand. You don't understand, honey. This is nuclear. This is nuclear." And apparently it was, because the amount of, the amount of things that happened after that, and even though now it's quieted down quite a bit, after I had the Bible in my hand, but not thinking of it as the Bible, but the concepts of Paul, his love and emotion, the emotion that you can feel emitting from Paul as he is sitting there in prison and writing. He's ministering to his prison guards, just like Socrates talking to the prison guard. The prison guard goes out weeping after giving him the poison to drink. Socrates saying, "Well, my good man, you are the expert in this. What must one do?" These people affected so many because of their kindness and their generosity. But it seems like there are so many that are unwilling slaves, and so many that mistakenly, made a decision that perhaps now they regret. If I were dead now, if the plan had worked, and I was dead right now, or if I was dead, meaning on the Ashtar Command or something in a different, in the other Arcturian body or whatever, or whatever would happen here. I know that I'm not going to get circled around in the prison system whenever I die. I know that I'm completely out of the Matrix now, which scares the hell out of those people. They know, oh, okay, we lost one of our humans in there. We've lost a natural resource. It's not going to circle around and be confused again. It knows where the heck it's going. We know where we're going. We know where we're from. We're leaving Babylon. We're going to our father's land. Exodus. They understand that I'm outside of their system, their reincarnative net system, or what they would call a net around the earth, like what Peggy Kane talks about. There would be like a type of net, but it's a diamond type structure around the earth, and you can find Cryon's book 12 where you expose it to the chemicals they would blow at you, and it looks like a diamond instead of a Merkaba. And that would be the idea, to scare the light workers into thinking that not even Cryon was real, or things like that. And so what with all these things of our new philosophy? What of forgiveness? Christ was asked, "But how many times must I forgive?" And Christ said, not 7 times, but 77 times. And when I look at that, he's saying basically as many times as it takes. It's like he is saying as many times as it takes for them to understand. Deciding when do we use force and when do we use forgiveness. It is tricky. But depending on the adversary, if you approach them with a frequency of total, utter, light love, not the other kind of love, whatever the other kind of love is, I can't really manage to get a good definition of it, but it has something to do with sex. The light love, if you approach them with the light love, it's as if they suddenly stop with wide eyes and might actually say, "I'm sorry," and quickly run away, almost. Or just stop and then run away. Like I said, that was what was happening to the reptilians trying to possess me astrally. They would, manage to get their way in, their sexual way in or whatever, but then they would hit the core of my being, which I did not even know was so pure. No one who had known me would have thought it would be Krista. of all people, like Paul. Paul was murdering the Christians. He was torturing them and murdering them. He was like the worst guy around that you could think of. And Christ transformed him into an apostle to the Gentiles, into the author, basically, of the entire New Testament. And one of the most loving men of that entire time. And I've been told so many times, Krista, it is the same thing that we are doing with you. It is the same thing that we want to do with you. You are like the new apostle to the Gentiles, who are like the lower evolved species, who try to come into the light and it blinds them and stings them and burns them and whatever the heck else happens, like True Blood, vampire in the sunlight and then it burns to death. Kind of like that appears to be what happens when the light love source is generated in the presence of many of these entities, or if they try to come into it, it's like they become harmed, and so many of them would take the opinion that I'm just doomed forever, so I should just keep on doing my stupid shit. I'm just gonna keep on doing this stupid stuff, this just stupid bullshit, as two reptilians said to me when I was in there. He said, "Congratulations, you've discovered it's bullshit. Now look, just take the pill, okay?" Or Kelly, as they were calling her Kelly, I guess, was the name that she was going by. This female reptilian who was trying to possess me, but she couldn't. And finally I said, "Look, well, hey, you Kelly person, can we talk?" And I felt for a second inside of me, and she said, "Well, you figured out it's all bullshit. Congratulations." Like that, an attitude like that. And then, well, look, they're gonna kill me now because I couldn't do it. So my best move is to protect you somehow, because the longer you stay alive, now the better it is for us. It was like they were using reptilians to possess. The idea was to kill me and kill the reptilian that would possess me, and they knew that. So they were using these reptilians who were troublesome to them somehow, in one way or another. Troublesome. It wasn't they were trying to break out of the system, just troublesome somehow. Like, we're going to get rid of you and kill you somehow. So we're going to do it by, you possess this person. If you do a good job, maybe it'll give you a little bit more time alive, but we're going to kill you anyway. That was like the idea that they were trying to convey to me, was that, look, regardless of if we possess you or not, we're prisoners, they're going to kill, just like you. So our best move, since you literally can't be possessed, no matter what we do, our best move is to help you, because if we hang out around you, we're protected. And I hope they were, okay. Even the Kelly saying, "Well, congratulations," because everybody is loved by the source, light, love. At the same time, we don't let the dark just stomp around on us. We tell the dark firmly, "No, you're not allowed to stomp around on me." But then, after the dark understands from the woman in black, you are powerless to me. Once they understand that, then, okay, now, here, let us try to learn. How do we coexist? How do you continue about your life? Are you happy with your life? Like what Bob Marley also sings. Are you really satisfied? Are you satisfied with the life you're living? 'Cause we know where we're going, and we know where we're from. We're leaving Babylon, and we're going to our Father's land. Exodus, Movement of Ja people. So, are you happy with the life you're living? I know for you guys in the dark right now, the answer is no. I know it is. Even as I might be wearing black, just as the, little uniform thing, because I just came in, and wearing the black signifies to people, it's supposed to signify to people, look, I'm on my business, I have no intention, I only have intention to help here. Intention to harm is wrong, but if you harm me, then I must protect myself. I must live. The idea is that having the black on is like a statement of, look, I'm with this, so you need to stand down. You need to stand down. You need to stand down, which is kind of like a police type military phrase, stand down, meaning, hey, weapons up. No, get away, is the idea. But the real way to void those things, to ward them off, is not with a militant mentality. It is with a mentality of complete openness and love. And when people sense that mentality off of you, remember, if they're possessed, they're telepathic. So they will sense this abounding love of light from you. And then get the message, oh, hey, yeah, no wonder. I mean, any of us, we know, she's got some of our genes. I mean, any of us, we'd be fighting like, yeah, we'd be, kicking and screaming and ripping heads off with our sharp teeth. If what happened to her, if someone tried to do that to me, the other reptilian, someone tried to do that to me, I would be ripping people's heads off with my sharp teeth and fighting and kicking and screaming the most as I could. That's what I'd do if I was, in that kind of position. So what she's doing makes sense. And what I say is what they are doing in the dark makes sense. If you're born into darkness, then to survive, it makes sense to adapt to the darkness. But so as was I born into darkness, we must slowly adapt our eyes to seeing the light. I really hope those two people those two women that they're going to be okay. No, rather, I know. My eyes fell on my picture of Cryon over there. And what does he say? He says constantly to me, Krista, if you woke up on a desert island with nothing, and you could still look to the universe, after maybe you're kicking and screaming over the situation, look to the universe and say, I understand that this is for a reason. I know that I have created it for a reason, therefore it is good. We may say even that these dark ages that we have had up until now, in the future, we're going to be calling, all the 1500s through 2000, we're going to be calling that the dark ages. I just know that because we were all in the dark. And this is going to be called a new age of enlightenment or something. Oh, this is funny. I just got told, Krista, you are the what? Mother of this new philosophy? Name it. Name the new age. Because it's not just new age, the age of reason, the Renaissance. Name the new age that you will be writing about. So I will. And everyone will know that the true light, love, is here for us all, even the worst among us, someone like me, the most horrible of them all. Blessings.